Good afternoon. It's the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Uh, Hold on, let me see. Am I okay? Okay. Thing is showing something different. Good afternoon. I'm Emanuel Livingston, of course. I'm with you for a little bit. We're supposed to be doing the King and I, but Wyatt is doing his thing. Uh, it's a, it's a little dance that we had to do to get our schedules together. It's really a lot of it is my fault, just because I'm not schedule wise as flexible as he is. So he does his show, and then he's really making a sacrifice to do the King and I, because then he's basically doing two shows back to back. And if my schedule was flexible in that I could come in and do like 2 o'clock, then we could do like 2 to 4. So then we both, but it's not that way right now. So when he wraps up his show, he'll probably text me and say, all right, we good to go. And then I'll say, yeah, we good to go. And we'll do it that way. We'll see how it all work out. We'll see how it all work out. But welcome to the show. I appreciate everybody for joining us. Of course, one of the biggest stories of the day is the former president, jury selection starting for his trial. Jury selection starting for his trial. I'm sorry, I got to move this. I got some stuff slightly disorganized here, and it's irritating me. All right, yeah, you can go there, and you can go there. All right. So, yeah, they're doing jury selection in Trump's trial. It started. He's been trying to delay it, but it's on. So we'll see that. Of course, the barrage of missiles sent at Israel. And, for some people, that's a big deal. I'm not sure that that's as big a deal as everybody seems to be afraid that it is. So we'll check that out as well. But as usual, I need to say hello to the people. You can tell I'm being kind of tentative because I got one eye. Y'all know me. I be watching Wyatt. So I got one eye on Wyatt. See what exactly it is that he gonna do. But I imagine he'll text me, and then I'm also trying to do this. But let me say hi to the people, because y'all know that's important to me. Robert Willis, what's up? What's up with you? Terry, so good afternoon from downtown. Got Brandy in the house. Brandy says greetings. Good afternoon, Brandy. Got Anthony in the house. Good afternoon, Anthony. Brent, representing Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon, Brent. Got Tessie in the house. Good afternoon, Tessie. Tria, of course, she's representing Columbia Township. Good afternoon, Tria. Got Lewis in the house. Excuse me. Lewis, representing Sharonville. Good afternoon, Lewis. Brent says, poor folks' schedules tend to be less flexible. Yes. And, I got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs now. I got 5 jobs now. It's all me. But everything I do now is freelance. And I remember, I didn't know, I knew what freelance was, but I didn't know what freelance was like in practice. You can set a schedule freelance, but look, if you're trying to make money and everything, depending on what you do, somebody come to you with a job, you got to do that job. And you can't be like, what, Big Red or whatever. My office hours are, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I need this done. I need you, my event is this, or I need this order by this date, or I need you here to do this, and this is when this is happening. So, yeah. I mean, you have to be flexible, but you lack flexibility in other ways. So, yes. Anthony, the hater Prosser, talking about, yeah, we can't get you to do a full week. I just did a full week. See, now you make me want to take a day off. See? You see, this is what happens. Ladies, because, yeah, that was some bitch shit. Ladies, this is what happened. Your man do something, he do it, and instead of saying, thank you, or I appreciate that, or, oh, you did a good job with that. I'm glad you did it right this time, because the last time I asked you to do it, you was too busy. See what happened? And then guess what? Next time you want your man to do it, he gonna be like, nah, I'm busy. Because last time I did that shit, you didn't appreciate it. Anthony coming at me, like a woman. Like a woman. Don't be a woman, Anthony. Don't be a woman. Terry representing, I'm not sure what E-Town is. Are you talking about Evanston? Is that what you're talking about? Evanston? Let's see. Tracy, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Tracy. Jack, good afternoon. He's still talking about Stan Irvet. I don't know who that is. Sorry. Brenda representing Fairfield. Good afternoon. Mike representing Woodward. Woodlawn. Good afternoon. Got Brent in the house. I already said Brent. Yeah, no, she never has scheduling issues. Big J. Good afternoon. We got Preston. He's representing Park Hills. Lonzo in the house representing Kroger in Norwood. All right. Jacqueline Peachy Bell in the house. Good afternoon, Peachy. I miss you already. You know what I'm talking about. We don't have a replacement for you. Well, they say we got a replacement for you, but I haven't seen the replacement yet. You already know. Oh my goodness. I think I'm supposed to see the replacement in action tonight. So we'll see what happens. But until I get a suitable replacement, I miss you and I'm mad at you. We beefing. We enemies until I get a suitable replacement. I didn't make it that way. I don't make the rules. I just follow. Let's see. Pamela, good afternoon. Jay says, and with 5 jobs, you happier than working at one for the buzz? I am, yes. Lewis says your chat. Oh, chat overlay. Yes. Veronica, good afternoon, representing College Hill. Maria, representing North College Hill. I think that means y'all got to fight. If you in College Hill and she in North College Hill, I think that means y'all got to fight. Right? I don't know the rules about that. Diane from the COV. I don't know what that is either. What's with all of this stuff? Maybe it's me. I don't know what this stuff is. The COV, is that Covington? Who's calling Covington the COV? I've never heard that. I don't know. Terry says, don't start. You know E-Town. I'm just assuming that's Evanston. Evanston, I'm sorry. Fame in the house. Fame. He's representing Finneytown. Good afternoon, Fame. We got Sean in the house. Good afternoon. We got Brian in the house. Good afternoon. He's representing Pleasant Tub Farms. I don't know what that means. Mary, she's representing White Oak. All right. Let's see. Darren. Good afternoon. He's representing Madisonville. Mary, chats, please. All right. C Breezy. Hold on. Who is C Breezy? Because I was under the impression that C Breezy was Sierra. This person is from Boston, but I thought that was like a YouTube name, and the Facebook name was Sierra. So you just straight thugged out now? You not Sierra Brooks no more? You C Breezy now? Okay. You done got you one of them thug men changing your name for him. I'm telling you, that won't pay off for you. Carolyn, good afternoon. Representing East Walnut Hills. All right. Ron, what's up, Ron? What's up, Ron? Peachy, talk about I miss you too. You can't say you miss me. You my enemy until we get a suitable replacement. You my enemy. If I see you walking down the street, I got to steal on you. And you a woman. If I see you walking down the street, I got to steal on you. Because we enemies until I get a suitable replacement. Or until I'm out too. One of the two. One of those two things got to happen. David, representing Hebron. All right, good afternoon, David. Got Raven, a celebrity in the house. Raven. I need like an alarm for the celebrities. Whoop, 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 something. Celebrity in the house, Raven Mundy. Good afternoon. C Breezy says, I thought there was going to be a king in our show today. So did I. But again, things are complicated. Hold on, he's texting me now. I can't like talk and text at the same time. Otherwise, I would have to say what I'm texting. All right. No kinging out today. He's scared. See, that's what it is. The nigga's scared. No, he's not scared. Again, it's a thing that we have to do. His schedule and our schedules have to work. And I really did just kind of own his show, throw it out there, and he was in a position where he didn't know. So we'll reschedule it. We'll do it another day. I'll let y'all know. Maria say they don't have to fight. Okay. Diane says the COV is Covington. Nobody calls it that. Andrea, representing Gulf Manor. How you gonna know White Oak and not COV? First, because I just remember her saying a number of times she's representing White Oak, so the W and the O makes sense. And yours, no one says the COV. Nobody's ever said that before. Ever. Phyllis, good afternoon. Just getting in from Lowe's with some plants and flowers. About to plant them. All right. I wish I could get into like planting stuff. I can't get into it. I can't get into it. I can cut some stuff. Like, if I wasn't doing this right now, I would be out in the yard, edging up, running my lawnmower, getting my, what do you call the thing? The tiller. Getting my tiller out, tilling up some ground. I got some branches that I would be putting in the chipper. Like, I would be outside getting it in, but I wouldn't be planting no flowers. I just can't get into it. Anthony, talking about I'm putting on a shirt and shorts You put on your onesie, and we're gonna settle. uh, oh, I don't even know. You'll get your knees out skinned up, bro. Why would you be putting on shorts? Who puts on shorts to go and fight on the hard concrete? Skinned up knees, just all over the place. Vanessa says good afternoon. She's checking in. She's representing Stanley Rowe. All right, you can't beat that. Let me see. Shahara in the house. Shahara says good afternoon. Back at it another week. She's representing Bond Hill today. All right. Let me see. Jean says, what's up, little short E-man? If this is twin, bro, you only 2 inches taller than me. You can't be going at me for being short and you only 2 inches taller than me. We stood face to face and looked eye to eye. What? But good afternoon. Let me see. Wyatt just finished at 3:15. Give him time. He texted me. It's not gonna happen today. It's not gonna happen today. But it will happen. Hopefully one day this week. I'll call him later on and we'll work it out. Let me see. Got my OSHA with her rich ass in the house. All right. CK in the house. Mr. Genius Types would love that alarm. All right. Let me see. Regina representing Madisonville. Crystal representing Fairmount. Good afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon. Let's see. I think I got everybody. Y'all let the former podcaster scare y'all doing the King and I. A man got his alleged enemy shook. No, it definitely ain't that. It definitely ain't that. My old show here lying. I thought you was a woman of integrity and riches. But no, just riches. Because you ain't never heard nobody call it the COV. Stop lying. Don't lie to me, woman. Don't lie to me. Crystal representing Mount Auburn. Diane says gardening is hard work. Well, hard work. I don't know that it's hard work. It's work. Hard work. You overselling it just a little bit. Let's see. Jason representing Fairfield. All right. Mr. Jones is out in the yard right now. Do Mr. Jones drive a black Tahoe? I think, because I thought I saw him. I was like, that's Mr. Jones. I think he was, had, you know how the rappers be doing it? Like when they first get rich and they have like a little brick of, a stack of bills and they hold it up to their ear like they talking on the phone. But he was just riding around in a car like that. I was like, that nigga rich. But if he drives a black Tahoe, I saw him. Let's see. Pat says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Pat. Angela says salutations. Well, salutations to you as well. Hold on, I can make this bigger now. There's not going to be a King and I, so I can pump that up a little bit so I can see better over there. I have a lavender thumb, not a green thumb. Everything dies. I don't even do it. I think I tried to plant something a long time ago, and it was just too much. It was just too much work. And I was like, I ain't got time for that. Little baby, they had them do a little thing. This was about 2 weeks ago. And you know how they you grow something on a sponge or something like that. And so they had them grow something, and then they want to send it home. And, they want the little kids to, teach it to grow and all of that kind of stuff, nurture it and all of that stuff. And I saw a little baby sitting there, and it was hers and, a few other ones. They had her name on it. And I was like, you going to take your thing? And she was like, no. I'm thinking, okay, they needed to stay here for a little bit. When I came back the next day to get her, that was Thursday. When I came back Friday to get her, everybody's was gone except hers. I was like, you going to take your thing? And she was like, no. I was like, ain't you supposed to take it? And she was like, yeah, I'm supposed to take it. I was like, well, then take it. And she was like, I want it to die. I was like, you what? So I want it to die. I don't care about that thing. I don't want to be watering it and all that other stuff. And I was like, you got to take it. She was like, well, can we just take it and leave it in your car until it die? And I was like, what? What? So I brought it home, brought it in to her mama. And her mama was like, she don't want that thing. She don't want that thing. She is not going to take care of it because she wanted to die. She ain't into that. I was like, okay. So I think they just threw it away. She is not into that at all. Not at all. Let me see. Janice in the house. Janice says she's representing herself. I think she's the only person that I'll allow to get away with that bullshit. She's about the only person. Because she's my favorite. Don't nobody else try that bullshit, because I'm going to be like, no. Wherever you are, that's who you represent. Nakia? Representing Covington. Nakia tried to start beef with me earlier today. I remember you tried to start beef. Like I'm smarter than you. I was just saying that there's no ass on growth. But then I said, forget it. And you're going to come back. I'm smarter than you. Why you want to beef with me, Nakia? But you probably are smarter than me. But you didn't have to say it out loud for everybody. You didn't have to say it for everybody to see it. My goodness. Oh, let's see. Mr. Jones does drive a black Tahoe, and he's never done the money phone before in his life. He had a stack of bills. Just driving with one hand, leaning to the side. I was looking like this. Don't he know it's illegal to be on the phone? Oh, he got money. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I saw him. Scott representing San Francisco. You better be careful out there, Scott. It'll turn you out. Let's see. Yeah, little baby, she not into plants or eclipses. Not at all. Diane says, do we have a troll in the chat? I don't know, do we? I haven't seen any. Or maybe they're so good at trolling it's going over my head. Oh, let me see. My mother loves gardening and is so proud that she got the beautification award from the block club due to her lovely flowers. Yeah, that's rich people shit. Beautification award. Let me see. Karen in the house representing the West End. I think I'm about done. DeWanda. Good afternoon, DeWanda. And let me see. Scroll. T Mikey G. Representing apparently the COV, which no one has ever said before. Good afternoon. All right. As I said earlier, and I'm not anti-gardening, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. Gardening is not for me. But if you are a gardener, a green thumb person, and you want to go out there and play around in the dirt and all of that kind of stuff, more power to you. More power to you. I will. And look, Mrs. Livingston knows this better than anybody else because she got some plants that she done planted. But the way that I see it, when your plants start encroaching on my grass, it's war. And I got the power tools. So yes, if it becomes complicated for me to do something, I got a lawnmower and I run shit over. And what's the worst that could happen but you be mad? Like, oh, I'm mad. Oh, I'm mad. Oops. That's really all you got to say. Because you can't prove I did it on purpose. I got the weed whacker. And your stuff is on my stuff. Oops. You can't prove I did it on purpose. You can't prove it. So you could be mad for a minute, but the way I see it, you control your shit. So that your shit ain't in my shit. And if your shit ain't in my shit, then we got no beef. But once your shit get in my shit, something got to happen. Something got to happen. And so you should know. Look, you should know. He about to go out there and cut the grass. Let me go make sure that my shit ain't in his shit. Like, okay, we good. Because if it don't bother me, it don't bother me. But if it be in my way, oops. You can't prove it. You can't prove it. They be gone. They be gone. You weed whack tulips and tiger lilies like my husband does every year. But she planted them in the worst place. I mean, sometimes they be all right? Like, okay, you got the yard. And like right on the corner of the yard, these things grow up. I think she calls them naked ladies. So they not even up there long and all the time. And when they not flowering, it's just this bushy green thing. But it's on the corner. I got to get my edging in. I need an edge. Y'all can't see my hands. I need an edge. Those ain't good for edging, and they not beautiful. I mean, like, once every great while, a flower pop up, it bloom for a minute, and then it die. The rest of the thing be just fine. So she put them in all these strategic places that she think is beautiful. I guess she's trying to win the beautification award. We don't live in a beautification award community. We live in a cut your damn grass community. So it is what it is. I cut the grass. And every once in a while, a plant pays the price. It shouldn't be in my way. And she got, I don't know, how did we get on this? And she got ivy. Like on a side of the hill, it's ivy. So I had to cut my grass around the ivy. Ivy don't stop growing. Ivy don't stop growing. It just be growing and growing and growing, and I had to trim it back, But, it's ivy. So then I got to go in with the blower and blow out all the old ivy. And then I got to get it. It's just too much. With that lawnmower, take care of it. Oh, just plant. Let me dig all that up. and plant some beautiful grass. Let me dig all that up and plant some beautiful grass. To be completely honest, I don't know how did we get here. I don't even like the grass that's out there. It's not lush and green enough for me. It's some weird strain of grass that don't suit my taste. So like right now, it's still brown. I'm seeing all this beautiful green grass all over the place, nice, thick, luscious, with the lines in it. I wanna have lines in my grass. I want it thick and luscious. This grass is still brown. I'm cutting. How is your grass growing and it's brown still? So I'm cutting brown grass, looking just bad. I want to dig it all up. I've done this before. I just took the tiller and I dug, not here, at a different house that I lived in. Took the tiller, dug everything up, and replanted the right type of grass. Scott says you have to treat it. No, this grass, it will turn green at the appropriate time. Now give it, I'm going to say probably, April, mid-May. It'll be green. It still won't be beautiful, lush green, but it'll be green. But I want the lush grass. I got a tiller. I can do the whole yard. The way I did it the last time was I took some stuff out, chemical. I took a chemical out and I killed all the old grass. It didn't take too long. I killed all the old grass, dug it all up, planted, put out new seed, watered it, and took care of it. It was the most beautiful, lush, green, deep green lawn you ever seen. You might be able to ask Lincoln. I know we beefing now, but he might tell the truth because he came by the house one day. He dropped me off at home. We had an event, and I really didn't want to go to the event, so I was like, oh, I can't go because I ain't got no ride. My girlfriend at the time was going to come and get me and take me there because she had dropped me off at work for whatever reason. I don't remember what it was. But so Lincoln was like, I'll take you to the event. I'm like, oh. No, I don't want you to have to go out the way because then you'll have to take me home. Oh, I don't mind. How you selfish as hell, but today you want to be giving. So he ended up, we went to the event, I did the event, and then he dropped me off at home. And he commented even, like, that grass is greener than all the other grass. It looked more lush and whatever than all the other grass in the whole neighborhood. Like, it was beautiful. I was like, well, thank you. I planted that grass myself. No, you didn't. I was like, yes, I did. I killed everything and I replanted the entire lawn. He was like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. So he'll tell you, I know what I'm doing and I kind of want to do it here, but then I have to fight. I don't want to fight. I had to fight. I don't know why you don't want me to just dig it up. Yeah, it's going to be ugly for a little while. For a few weeks, it's going to be ugly. But then after that, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. I don't know nothing about all of that, Brent. Brent asked, is it one of those creeping grasses like something or another, he said. Oh, where is it? One of those creeping grasses like Zoya, Centipede, or St. Augustine. I don't know, but it's not a beautiful grass. It's not a beautiful grass. And I will have to go back into my research to tell you what kind of grass I planted because I had done research. What grass grows the best here and all of that kind of stuff. I had to do all of that stuff. But I couldn't tell you right now. I'd have to go back, dig up all the research and figure out what grass works best for this lawn in the situation, because we got some shade and some sun, and you got to get the right mix for shade and sun. It was a whole ordeal. I might do that this year. I might do it this year. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm not gonna announce it if I do, cause y'all be when I tell y'all the stuff that I'm gonna do, y'all put a damper on it. Like, oh, you're not gonna do it. It ain't gonna ever happen. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then the next thing I know, I'll let y'all get in my head, and I'll be like, oh, I don't want to start because I ain't gonna ever finish because they said I wasn't gonna finish, and so why should I start? I let y'all get in my head, and then I don't do it. So I'm gonna just do it, maybe, without announcing it, and then I'll just tell y'all when it's done. I'll just tell y'all when it's done. Because y'all so negative about my projects. So negative. But anyway, I forget how we got there. Somebody mama did something. I don't remember how we got there. But, okay, jury selection underway in Trump's historic trial. That's really the whole update. That's the whole update. I'll be honest. I don't think he's going to be found guilty. Not of anything serious. Not of anything serious. He might get found guilty of a misdemeanor. Like, oh, you falsified some business documents. He might get found guilty of a misdemeanor. But I don't think he's going to be found guilty of the big felony attempting to interfere with an election. I think, in all honesty, he probably shouldn't be found guilty of that. I know this goes against everything that y'all think I believe in, but be honest. The dudes and chicks can be honest about this. Will in the house, I see you, Will. Dudes and chicks can be honest about this, because we know women cheat more than men. So women, y'all probably got more experience with it. You cheat on your spouse, or in some of y'all cases, just y'all significant other. And then you like, ooh, so-and-so happening, she might tell. And you like, look, don't tell. Or you do a little something to cover it up. Like, because you don't want it to get out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want it to ruin your reputation. You don't want it to get back to your wife or to your husband or to your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever. That's basically what he did. Look, I'm be honest with y'all. I don't like the dude. He's slimy. He's a liar. He's a deviant. He's, almost all things negative about humanity. But paying somebody to shut up about you cheating with them, I don't know that should be a crime. I don't know that you should be found guilty of trying to interfere with an election. I mean, think about it. If you running for office and you think that your side piece might come out and say, I let him hit. I let her hit. Or I hit her, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You would be like, all right, what I got to do? You know what I'm saying? What you need me to give you? Do you want me to buy you some watch? You want some earrings? What you want, some power tools? I don't know what chicks give to make dudes hush. You know what I'm saying? What do you want? What can I give you? So, you're trying to interfere with an election. I'm trying to protect my reputation. Sure, I'm running for office, and I don't want that to come out, but is that really election interference? Again, they might get him on the misdemeanor. Like, but you falsified some records. Like, your dude gave her the money, and then you gave the money back to him, and y'all said that it was this. All of that, sure. Sure. Find him guilty of that. Because that's probably what he did. That's probably what he did. But, he's trying to interfere with an election because he didn't want the potential of the woman that he had an affair with to come out might have swayed the election, and that's what he was trying to avoid. So it is a interference with the election. Let's stop it. Again, I don't like the dude. He's slimy. He grimy. He's a liar. He grabbed women by the vagina. All of that. I don't like the dude. But I wouldn't wish for some other person, like if you found out, and don't be mad at me, but somebody will. If we found out that Barack Obama had a side piece and that he paid them to shut up and not come out, because, I think Michelle pinches him. So he didn't want to get in trouble with Michelle, and, he want to win the election. Will we be like, he should go to jail for interfering with the election? Of course we wouldn't. We would be like, oh man, I'm so ashamed of Barack Obama for doing that. Some of y'all would be like, that make us all look bad. I would just be thinking it make him look bad. But, we would be disappointed in him, but nobody would be wanting him to go to jail for trying to interfere with an election because we found out that he paid a side piece to shut up. Nobody would want that. And that's kind of what people are looking for in this case. Did he do wrong? Sure. Should he be found maybe guilty of, what he did? Which are misdemeanors. Possibly. But should that be a felony? Because again, when you boil it all down, he got the draws, and then he paid her to not tell nobody that he got the draws. That's not a felony. Not, in my book, that's not a felony. So, I see it. I see it. I don't like the guy. I think he's a terrible, terrible human being. But I definitely don't want to see him go to jail for this. And this, in my humble royal opinion, would be the wrong case to be like, oh, he's guilty. See, we got him. You got him on an ass crime. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got some ass. That's crime. You got him on an ass crime. That's not what's up. That's not what's up. D talking about black people went to jail for less. Stop it with the black-white thing. Bro, racism doesn't exist anymore. Let it go. Let it go. Racism does not exist anymore. Let it go. Janice says it all depends on where the money came from. Not to me. Not to me. Because if you ask me, that's part of the campaign. I know, if he paid with his own money, it's different. That's part of the campaign. Ain't it part of the campaign to keep damaging stuff out of the campaign? And if a porn star come out talking about I had sex with him, that's going to damage the campaign. I know legally it might, be murky. And again, I get we don't like him. I don't like him. So I get the tendency to be like, yeah, but he did technically break the law. I do. I understand it. But just this one? Janice says campaign money is not for your personal use. That wasn't personal. If you believe their case, it's not personal. It was campaign related. So it's fine to use campaign for, you see what I'm saying? Like they're like, this is election interference. Here's his argument. No, number one, I didn't do it. But if I did it, like OJ, if I did it, then it would have been just because I didn't want my wife to find out. But the state is arguing, no, bruh, you did it to interfere with the election because you didn't want it to come out that you had sex with a porn star. If I was him, I would lean into it. Like, you know what? You're right. And that's why I used campaign funds. Because it was for the good of the campaign. I am campaigning to be the president of the United States, and that would have potentially derailed my campaign. And so, for the good of the campaign, I used campaign funds to stop a bad story. Was I wrong? Probably. But who among us have not had sex with a porn star and then needed her to shut the F up about it? Let those among us who've never had sex with a porn star cast the first stone. Yes, Brent. Technically, it was a campaign expense. Yes. Now, again, not really, but when you think about it, they really are trying to go too hard owning about that portion. If you got a crime, you paid her off, then okay. That's a misdemeanor. Oh my goodness, why do people keep texting me? That was a misdemeanor. You're guilty of a misdemeanor. I'll give them that, but no, the campaign funds didn't pay for the sex. He already got the draws before the campaign. He got the draws a while ago. He didn't be like, hey, give me some of that campaign money. What we got in the kitty over there? Here, give me that. Now, Stormy, I'm paying you this to have sex with me. That's not what they're alleging. They're alleging he already got the draws. He just wanted to make sure, after he told everybody that he grabbed women by the vagina, he wanted to make sure that Stormy and that other girl didn't come out and say, I had sex with him. So, yeah, he didn't use campaign funds to pay for sex. He probably already paid for the sex. He already paid for the sex. But it is kind of, salacious. Like, oh, he has sex. Oh. Come on, who? It's Donald Trump. Who don't think that Donald Trump was probably paying beautiful women for sex? Who didn't already think that? Come on. And some people actually do want to have sex with porn stars. I don't understand why, but some people actually do. And I guess if you're in a position, you got enough money, then hey, you can call up Stormy Daniels. I only know like two. One of them I know only because I had no idea who Stormy Daniels was. So you gonna call up Pinky? I don't even know if I remember her name in the pornoverse. I forget how I know of her. People were talking about her at some point. She did something that people thought was newsworthy. But those are really the only two porn stars that I know. Pinky and Stormy Daniels. Find him guilty. If you have to, find him guilty of a misdemeanor. And then you move on. Let him deal with the other serious issues, more serious issues than this. Have I ever seen Jada Fire? No. Like I told you, I don't watch that stuff. I don't watch that stuff. It might be somebody else's thing, but yeah, I don't watch that stuff. Vanessa Del Rio. I do remember hearing that name. Ice Cube said her name in was it Wicked? I think Ice Cube said her name in Wicked. It's a song. So that's that. This whole Middle East thing. Oh, wait a minute. Fame got some information for y'all. Pinky, real name is Sarah. I saw her on IG. She gained considerable weight. Okay. She's a porn star, so I would have not. Again, I only know the name. I don't watch that stuff. Israel. So Iran, I always get Iraq and Iran mixed up. Israel, what did they blow up or did something to the Iranian? I'm gonna get some of this stuff right. I probably should have had a story pulled up, but I don't. Some of the stuff I try to go off memory, and then I forget that I had COVID, and so my memory ain't that bad. Like the consulate in what was it, Syria? One way or the other, they killed some Israel, maybe accidentally, maybe not, killed some Iranians. Okay? And so Iran had to get some get back. This is the story as I understand it. Iran had to get some get back. But they didn't really want to start no whole thing. So they basically told them in advance. And maybe, with the urging of some other countries, look, send some missiles over there. Send them low flying. We gonna help them knock them down. So y'all not really gonna hit nothing. But it's a show that y'all didn't appreciate what they did. They'll see it, again, we gonna help them. So then they did what they did. Y'all get back. And then, that'll pretty much be that. So I don't want to say send them slow and low, but basically send them slow and low. They knew in advance that it was gonna happen. And again, some of this, I wasn't there. I'm not a part of the intelligence community on any level. We got a community of intelligent people. I'm not in it. All right. So I'm not a part of the intelligence community, but just based on what I've watched. And I watch all kind of stuff, just so y'all know. This ain't just MSNBC, CNN. This is Fox. This is Washington Post. This is just a lot of different sources. And they basically say, hey, they knew that they were coming. They basically sent them in a way so as that they could be intercepted. They sent them in a way so as they could be intercepted, so that they could say, we retaliated. And that's basically what they said. They did what they did. We retaliated. It's over. We have no more. I don't remember the wording in the statement that I read that was attributed to them. But basically, we got no more nothing in the fight. We're out of it. They did what they did. We did what we did. We have no more aggression, no more aggressive feelings, no more intent to do anything else. Forget back. We done. And now Israel well, what do we do about it? Because they want to do something about it. Like, they can't send 300 missiles at us and us just sit here and do nothing. And basically the rest of the world, again, this is my understanding of the reporting. I'm not there. I'm not in the intelligence community. But basically, the gist of the rest of the world is like, hey, y'all can do something if y'all want to, but we not helping y'all. We will not be a part in escalating this fight. We won't be a part of escalating this fight. I remember once, this is true, it's some bad adulting, okay? But I saw this. It was a girl. I think I lived in Hawaiian Village at the time, right? And these two girls came up. We were at the bus stop. Got into a fight. Well, the one girl hit the other girl. She didn't want to fight. She went home. And she got some people with her. I think it was like her mama and her older brother. They, who hit you? And they said, she hit me. And it was like, okay, now we here. Go ahead and get your lick back. So she hit the girl back. And then the parents left. Well, the girl who got hit back went and got her mama and some other dude. And then they came up, and then it was an all-out fight, like a straight-up brawl at the bus stop. I understood the idea that you hit me, okay, well, here, get your lick back. Now it's all over. And that's basically what the world community is saying, what that first set of parents said. It's over. You hit her, she hit you back, it's over. Now, Israel was that first girl who threw the initial lick going and to get their parents, like, what we gonna do? And the world community, her parents is saying, look, did you hit her? Yeah, I hit her. Did she hit you back? Yeah, she hit me back. Then everybody good. We not going back to the bus stop with you to create no drama. If you go to the bus stop and you create some drama, you on your own. So if she beat your ass, you brought it on yourself. Remember, you started it. We not coming up there to fight for you on some shit that you started. Just let it be over. Just let it be over. But if you go up there fighting, we not backing you on that. So that's what my understanding of, that's kind of what's going on. So we in World War III. I don't know about all of that. I guess it all depends on what Israel do. Because if Israel go out and like go real hard and actually like do some damage. You know, Iran gonna won't get back now. It's a whole war. Would we back Israel? Will we back Israel? I don't know. Anybody who went to, who lived in Hawaiian Village and went to Aiken, I think I was in the 9th grade. I graduated in 88, so that would have been like 84. And caught the bus, remember that fight. It was a big brawl. Like a big brawl. As a matter of fact, I remember the bus coming while the brawl was going on. And I think the bus just passed us by. Like, oh, nope, we not getting in that. And we was all standing out there like, whoa, hey. I think it crossed the street and stopped, and then we had to run over there, and then he let us all on. But he wasn't stopping in front of that brawl. So if my memory serves me correct, that was the way it happened. And if my understanding of what's actually happening in this Middle East, this portion of the Middle East conflict is correct, I don't want to say it's not that big of a deal. 300 missiles is a big deal. People dying, not that nobody died from the 300 missiles. Which is kind of, in my mind, another way that you know that it was like, hey, we about to, you know what I'm saying, we about to lob some stuff over there. So get ready. On your mark, get set, go. Like, all right, knock them all down. I knocked them all down. All right, good. Which, by the way, it is on your mark. It's not on your march. It's not on the march. Nothing about a march. It's on your mark. On your mark, get ready, get set, go. That's what we used to say. And some of the kids would say, on your march, get ready, get set, go. And I used to even back then be like, it's not on your march. It's not your march. It's mark. Because I would watch track. And I knew that the runners had to get on their mark. And that's what they were telling them. Get on your mark. But some of them used to say, on your march. And it used to drive me crazy. Like when y'all put that S on the end of Kroger. Oh, it used to drive me crazy. I ain't gonna say no names. But I heard somebody say that not too long ago. It was an adult. And they were using that terminology. And they said, on your march, get ready. I was like, no, it's not march. Nobody's marching anywhere. It's mark. It was a grown man who said it. Oh, I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated when I heard it. I'm not saying no names. I'm not saying who it was. But it was a grown man. What else is going on? Oh, did y'all hear and I know everybody, hold on, such a sad story. Not that one. But that's a story I want to talk about too. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I'll do this story first. It's not quite as sad. Genesis, it drives me crazy hearing you leave the S's off of most of your words. Probably, Janice, because most of the words that you want S's on don't deserve S's. I don't. My answer says we already know it was Lincoln. It wasn't Lincoln. See? I'm Janice. Hold on. I'm gonna put a timeout, and I'm gonna fuss at you in a minute. It wasn't Lincoln. Stop assuming. Stop assuming stuff. I always want to try to start some stuff. It wasn't Lincoln. I would imagine Lincoln, being a track guy, knows it's on your mark. So it wasn't Lincoln. Stop trying to start stuff. So somebody, Emanuel was talking about you. He's saying you said on your march. He said it on his show. Buddy. You know. You know, somebody running back telling everything they hear on this show. Hey, buddy, somebody was talking about you. You know, stop it. Stop it. So don't be trying to start no stuff. It was not Lincoln. I'm not saying the name of the person who it was. All right, now back to you, Janice. Those words that you want S's on don't get S's. You don't put S's on everything. It's possessive. No! It's the name of a company. It's the name of a company. Anybody see this story? There's a young lady. Hold on, let me see. Can I find it here? See if I can find it and maybe even pull it up here. Come on, this Chromebook be getting on my nerves. Come on, Chromebook. And me and Chromebooks was not. Come on. I pull it up just perfect on my Mac, but I can't take this and show it to y'all. Sorry, I just can't. Maybe they put it on here. Damn Chromebook. And it's slow. Come on. All right. I can't find it. Oh, I should.
Student at Indiana State University. She is a nursing student. Now y'all know when it comes down to nursing
hold on.
and the disparities that Black people face, we definitely have to be.
All right. I can't play the video, but I might be able to get y'all the audio. Stop. Play it.
But if you're Black, you're not country. I don't care. And I wish I meant that in the nicest way. But babe, I know you were raised in the country, or your grandparents were, I guess, your great granny and grandpas, but they was picking, okay? They wasn't planting. Just keep that in mind. They wasn't making money. They was getting sold for money. You ain't country. It pisses me off more. Why are you wearing boots and a motherfucking jeans and a cutoff to a frat party? Huh? No.
All right. If you didn't understand what the girl was saying, she got beef with Black people in country music. She said, hold on, let me see. They got the. She says, I'm sorry, but if you're Black, you're not country. I don't care. I mean that in the nicest way. I know you were raised in the country, or your grandparents were, I guess, your great granny, grandpas, but they was picking, okay? They wasn't planting. Just keep that in mind. They wasn't making money. They was getting sold for money. You ain't country. She talked about them wearing boots and stuff at the little frat parties and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, she was not down with it. I saw this story, and first thing I thought, I don't know why she would do that. Because, again, we know that racism don't exist anymore. So she definitely didn't do it from a racist perspective. So other than racism, and the school came out, I believe, and kind of condemned her. I don't know if, because Samuel said, wasn't she expelled? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't, see all of the everything about it. But why do you think she would say that? Why do you think she would say that she would have that mindset? We know it's not racism. Racism doesn't exist. So why do you think she would say that? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Ron says, why do you keep saying racism doesn't exist? Because it doesn't. Racism doesn't exist anymore. And so I'm just wondering, I look at some of this stuff and I wonder, why do people do some of the stuff that they do? I don't really know. I don't really know. All I know is you can't say it's because of racism. Because racism doesn't exist anymore. When did racism end? I'm not sure when racism ended. But I know that it did. I know that racism no longer exists. Oh, hold on. Where is it? Oh, it's on the wrong screen. Okay. B-Rap.
Emanuel Livingston, what's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Now, let me explain to you why she would say that. You said the girl said black don't belong in country music, right?
She said if you black, you ain't country.
Okay. Without putting race into it. Let me explain to you her mindset. Okay. Where she's from, first of all.
You're asking where she from? I'm not sure where she's from. She goes to Indiana State, so she's in Indiana, but I'm not exactly sure where she is from.
Okay, Indiana. That's a pretty racist country, even though you're saying racism doesn't exist anymore.
It can't be racist because racism doesn't exist.
Okay, well, that's a
And
pretty
state,
racist country. They got a lot of KKK headquarters down there. Can we agree with that?
Sure, we can agree that. Well, I don't know if the KKK headquarters is still there. I know at one point in our history, apparently, some KKK members resided there.
Okay, all right. Well, you gave me a little bit. Okay. Now, do you know how old she is?
Oh, how old is she?
Because I need to know her information in order for me to explain the answer. Even if she's, let's give her 40. I'm just going to give her an age. Okay. I'm going to say she's 40. Okay?
She's not 40. I'm pretty sure she's not 40, but okay.
What, younger or older?
Younger.
Okay, let's just say she's 25. Okay? She was born in the year 2000. All right? From the year 2000 on to now, when she was listening to country music, maybe her family only introduced her to white artists, because before Beyonce came out with this song, it was black people in country music. Okay, now once she sees the phenomenon that Beyonce is having, and let's just say she is 25, with her being on TikTok, and she's seeing an influx of scratch that. Now she's seeing an influx of Black American folks dancing to the Beyonce song. She's seeing Beyonce song charting at number 1 in her mind, without putting race in on it, just music. In her mind, she thinks musically black people don't belong in country music. That's the answer.
Okay.
Did you give me that?
Yeah, but what did that have to do with, y'all people was out there picking and not all of that stuff? Y'all was picking, not planting, and y'all was being sold and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm trying to give you an adequate answer without putting race in it.
Yeah, racism don't exist.
What she said with our people out there picking, that's blatant racism.
It's not.
Would you agree with that?
No, because racism does not exist anymore.
So okay. That's the same argument that they were having before DEI. What was that called? That the racism doesn't exist anymore. It was DEI, and what was they calling it before that, Emanuel? I can't think of the name. What was it called?
Affirmative action?
Not affirmative action. It was affirmative action, something else, and then DEI.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either.
I cannot think of it. Oh shit. They had it. They was gonna teach it in schools or whatever. Oh damn it. Anyway, that was before affirmative action. That and then that other name that we're looking for. That was the whole definition of that argument. To where back in the day, no, people was not racist. People were just mean to people. It didn't matter if you were white or black. It just so happened that the black people were slaves, but it didn't go by their race. It was just that they were mean old people. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that was that argument before DEI. So now that her is
A number of people are saying critical race theory.
critical race theory. That's exactly what your argument is right now.
I couldn't think of it, and I knew it, but I could not think of it. I don't know why.
Me neither. That's exactly what your argument is right now about saying there isn't no racism. Basically, you're arguing for critical race theory on why there isn't any racism. So why I really can't explain the answer for you without making it racist.
Okay. All right. B-Rab, we gotta figure out a way to explain all of this stuff that seems racist, but it's clearly not racist because racism doesn't exist anymore. So we gotta figure out a way to do it. To maybe it's classist, maybe.
Classism doesn't have anything to do with music, because even from the poor to the rich, if you have a rich party up in Indian Hill, 9 times out of 10, the guy who's playing the piano for them folks probably only makes $50,000 a year. But he's musically, he's very talented in playing the piano. So I can't call it classism. I can't call it that. And this is America, to where certain people get certain things due to their skin color, where others don't due to their skin color. So it's kind of hard to say that there isn't any racism in America when we see it every day.
No, you're confused. That's not what you see.
Then what do I see?
It's not racism.
Then what can we call it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get with you.
It is clearly not racism does not exist anymore.
Give me an example on why you say racism doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I mean, I can't really give you an example, but I will tell you that I've heard it so much, and I've never really been able to understand why these people say it, but I've heard it so much from so many people, from all different walks of life, you know, wealthy people, poor people, but I got a lot of black people telling me that racism doesn't exist anymore, that I see racism where racism doesn't exist, because racism doesn't exist. So if all of these people from all of these different walks of life, and a lot of them black people, are telling me that racism doesn't exist, then I just got to believe that racism doesn't exist. So now I've convinced myself that racism doesn't exist, even though I'm having a hard time explaining things like this. I'm having a hard time explaining this with my newfound knowledge that racism doesn't exist anymore. So I don't understand it, but I know racism doesn't exist, so there has to be another explanation, and that's why I'm asking y'all to help me.
So, did racism ever exist?
Yes, racism did at one point exist.
So, when did it stop?
I don't really know. I haven't gotten a real good beat on that yet, but I'm sometime, I'm going to say probably in the 70s, maybe, racism stopped existing. Maybe the 80s. I'm not 100% sure. But sometime between the 70s and now, racism stopped existing. And now it doesn't. And if I believe, and I have to believe it because so many black people in particular are saying it, that it just doesn't exist anymore. So it's got to be another explanation for all of this stuff, that if racism still existed, some of this stuff would be easily explained by, racism. But because racism doesn't exist, there has to be another explanation.
So your answer was racism stopped in the 80s.
Maybe. Now, some people are saying around 2000.
No, forget what people are saying. I want your answer.
No.
I don't want to go off your answer because I just don't want to go off solely what you think of what other people are saying.
Look, here's what I'm trying to explain is that
I want your belief.
But I don't know everything. And some of the stuff I'm believing based on, the expertise of some of the people that I'm hearing, right?
So you going off what people say,
yes,
or what you see or hear specifically?
Look, I'll tell you what I feel in my heart is different, but sometimes you got to go with your head over your heart. And so what I feel in my heart, like, you know how like sometimes you see stuff and you can't explain it, but like, I can't even come up with an example, but you see something and you like, here's an example, and it's way off base of this, but it'll help you understand what I'm saying. Like,
it's cool. I'm used to double speaking. Go ahead and keep double speaking.
I'm not double speaking. Like, you ever? I remember meeting this guy. My sister was seeing this guy, and I met him for the first time. I don't even know that we spoke. I saw him. And I could just read him. I knew based on nothing. Just, I could feel it in my heart, in my spirit, in my soul. This was a bad dude. Like, he's up to no good. He's not for good. He don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? He want to smash, and that's about it. He's not a good person. And I remember telling her, like, leave this dude alone. Leave this dude alone. Leave this dude alone. And she like, well, why? Explain to me. Tell me why you... I'm like, I can't explain it. I just know it. But come to find out, he was a bad dude. And she ended up leaving him alone. But she like, well, you could have helped me if you would have told me what you saw. I can't explain to you what I saw because it's some stuff you just feel. Your head can't explain it. It doesn't make sense. Ooh, the look in his eye. Well, what look? I can't explain it to you. And that's kind of how it is here. I can't explain that racism went away or how or when, but I got enough people telling me that I have to accept it. Again, enough black people, not just white people. The white people could be saying it to throw me off. You know what I'm saying? But I got black people telling me that racism don't exist no more. Stop blaming everything on racism. Why you see everything as racist? Emanuel, everything ain't racist. Emanuel, see everything is racist. He see racism everywhere. He see racism everywhere. And I'm like, because I see it. I can't explain it. I know what I see. But they've convinced me that racism don't exist. And because now I have to accept it, I'm having a hard time explaining some of this stuff that I feel that I just like this. If racism don't exist, then tell me why this girl said this.
Well, can you start explaining your position to where you can say, I'm not making it racial, I'm just making an observation. That way people won't be so confused by you just saying racism doesn't exist. Because honestly, you sound like a damn fool for saying that racism doesn't exist.
It's not like Marquetta's on here right now. Everything is not racist, man. She's one of the ones that I listen to. Racism.
No, that's why I said when you start explaining positions like these, you could say without confusing people because people will listen to you say racism doesn't exist, and they will hear that and be like, what the hell is he talking about? Because clearly here in America, racism doesn't exist, not to make that as an excuse to why you can't get what you can get, but it's blocks in place to certain people with different hues of color that can't get things because of the color of their skin.
No, that would be racism. That would be racism, B-Rap. And racism doesn't exist anymore.
Well, can you start at least saying I'm not making it racial? I'm just making an observation. I observed this situation as not being racial to me. It's just to me that this lady is just ignorant on to why she says that Black Americans don't belong in country music. Because everything she's saying, you cannot explain that to just not being racial. You can't explain that situation off to saying that she's not racist, because clearly she is. Clearly.
You just won't come around to accepting that racism don't exist no more.
Listen, like
Look, I understand, B-Rap. It took me a long time to get here.
No, every time I explain a situation when it comes to race or race relations, I say I'm not looking at it as a black man or a white man. I'm just making an observation.
All right.
That's just my position on certain things, especially when I explain certain things to a white counterpart. That's just my position on certain things. Like, that's all. That's all. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of crazy for me to say racism don't exist. I can't say that. I wish I can.
You got to get here, man. You got to get here.
When I see it every day that certain people in certain positions...
You're not seeing it every day. You seeing something else. I don't know what you seeing, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. What am I seeing? I'm seeing stuff that look like racism, that feel like racism, that seems like racism, but apparently it's not racism. So I just accept that it's not racism, but I need to know what it is.
Okay, one more thing before I move on, because I want to holler at you about the Israel. We was having a debate on Facebook about World War III and the pandemic. You tried to twist my words up.
I didn't twist
But this is my last... Huh?
I didn't twist your word. I just asked you a question. Let me give people background so that they understand what you're about to talk about. B-Rap said in a post, and please correct me where I might get a detail wrong, okay? B-Rap said in a post, basically,
Joe Biden is on the brink of starting World War III.
No, what you said was
that was my original post.
No, it wasn't. You said we wasn't on the brink of World War III when Trump was in office.
No, we wasn't.
Right, that's what you said. And my response was, and I didn't say you were wrong, but my response was, and we're not in the middle of a pandemic when Biden is in office. And somehow you took exception to that.
Because really the two don't have nothing to do with nothing. You can't compare a pandemic to a war. But before we get to that, I ain't gonna hold up the line too long. I know you got other people want to call you and grill you about this racist thing. So just a couple of more minutes, y'all. Y'all can call in and disagree with me, call me stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about on the chat or whatever. I don't care. But anyway, so when Donald Trump did in the 80s, when he could try to convict the 5 guys from saying that they were guilty in the Central Park 5 situation, did racism stop after that? Or was it in 92 when after the cops beat the hell out of Rodney King and they got away with it?
Well,
was it after that?
What I'll have to do is I'll have to ask one of my mentors when racism stopped. And if these incidents that you're talking about were racially motivated, because I'll be honest, I'm just still trying to understand myself. But the people who keep telling me that racism don't exist, I'm taking their word for it. And now I'm looking for an alternative explanation for all of these things. So I'll ask them when racism stopped, and then we'll move forward from there.
Okay, that's fair. I totally disagree with you, but that's fair. That's all I can say is that's fair. Hey, E-Man, I appreciate you taking my call. I ain't gonna hold up the line too long. You have a great day, brother.
You do the same. All right, and let me explain because y'all know my brain don't work like normal people. It don't work like normal people. Some weird stuff happens in here. But if you say to me, we wasn't on the brink of World War III when Trump was in office, Biden got us on the brink of World War III. If we wasn't here when Trump was in office, what has Biden done? What has Biden done to get us on the brink of World War III? Stuff is happening. Like Biden didn't, kill the Iranians. Biden didn't invade Ukraine. Biden didn't do all of this stuff. This stuff is not in his control. So if you're taking and you're attributing things that are happening in the world, and somehow, if it happens in the world, that is the fault of the president of the United States, then guess what? The pandemic happened and Trump was in office. So then you have to, I guess, blame him for the pandemic. What I'm doing is I'm trying to point out the fallacy that whatever happens in the world is the fault of the president. That's flawed thinking. It's just flawed thinking. And if you run around, this didn't happen when Trump was in office, but it's happening now. Come on. Oh, this person didn't get shot while Trump was in office, but they got shot while Biden was in office. Okay, somebody got shot while Trump was in office, but not while Biden was in office. Like, come on. The logic there is super flawed in my mind. So when you say things like that, I'm trying to get you to tie one nonsensical statement to another nonsensical statement so that you'll see the ridiculousness of the statement that you made initially. I don't blame Trump for the pandemic. Just like I don't blame Biden for Russia invading Ukraine. Could they both have done things to mitigate the damage? Possibly. But you can't blame one for one and not, it's silly to me. So that's what when I ask you that question, that's what I'm trying to get you to see is tying that to Biden is silly as tying the pandemic to Trump in terms of blame. All right. CK.
Hey, man, that was great soliloquy. Ain't that what they call soliloquy?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, man, that's great. But look, when you say racism don't exist, you talking about in the world or in America?
I know in America, I have to ask my mentors if it exists anywhere in the world.
Also, you just saying in America, racism don't exist.
Correct.
Well, you got to understand, you got your time frame mixed up.
Oh.
Because you talking about the 70s. 70s was heavy, man. That was heavy.
70s
heavy.
Was heavy.
So, right. It ain't no, you know what I mean, ending no racism in the 70s. That's where it was at, Afros.
But would it be fair to say then racism stopped with the election of Barack Obama? That's when they started talking about we're in a post-racial society.
Okay, right. 2008, the inauguration of Barack Obama, and like when like maybe 2009, damn. So 2009, so remember like 98, 99 when we let Eminem come into hip hop. Oh. That was like the beginning of it. And then with the election of the first African American president, that was like the end Like Eminem was the beginning of the end, and the official end was like when Barack Obama in 2009, the beginning of 2009.
Okay.
But because I didn't even think he could accomplish what he did, but to do it 2 times, Livingston, good God Almighty Jesus, in America.
Wait, what did you not think he could accomplish? Just being elected president?
There it is, right there. I mean, I thought that was something I wouldn't see in my lifetime.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you saying goals, look to that man. You know what I mean? Now that's a goal.
Okay.
So, I mean, so when but you can't give them all the credit. You got to give credit to people like Dr. King, Malcolm X. You know what I mean? People like that. But he is the one that benefited from their accomplishments.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
I do.
So I don't understand how a black man could get into the White House and then do it twice. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about.
Because racism doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how was he able to, do something like that? I mean, to get people's minds to convert like that. That's what was shocking.
I don't know.
What you think is just charisma?
I guess. I mean, well, that and the people who, he ran against may not have been the best candidates. I think there are certain times, like people talk about he's the best candidate and this and this and that. But no, there are certain times when people are tired of one thing and ready for a shift. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the person who won was the best person. It was just people were ready to move from one thing to another. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's the case about Barack Obama. I think he was talking about a lot of things that people cared about, like, that basically universal health care, which he didn't get to pass, but, Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. I think a lot of people, took it. People were tired of seeing some of the stuff, and the stuff that he was saying was addressing a lot of the things that people saw. The country just, like Janice said, it was his message of hope. And he did create a situation where people were hopeful for a change after having just gone through, George W. Bush for 8 years. And the specter of
a racist president. And don't forget, George W. is a racist president. See what I mean? Remember, George Bush don't like black people. That was a quote from a poet from Chicago. He got in front of everybody, said, George Bush don't like black people.
He did.
And so what makes Barack Obama, I think what helped him stop racism was he faced so much racism running for the office. Remember with his preacher man? They had his preacher man on him, his professor. And then when his Trayvon Martin got murdered in cold blood by George, he said that could have been my son. That's what sealed. That's what people had so much compassion. They like, oh yeah, he's just like anybody else.
Well, I was exceptionally disappointed with his reaction to Trayvon Martin, but I guess I understand what you're saying.
Oh, he talking about he shouldn't have said that was his son?
He should have said more than that. I really believe that a lot of, and I don't even really want to, but a lot of the stuff that he did was insulting on like another level, like the whole beer summit thing. Instead of, he wouldn't call out, or maybe again, I had to hold on. I had to check myself because I was about to say he wouldn't call out racism to racism's face. And when he did call out racism to racism's face, he had to apologize for calling out racism to racism's face. But he got elected in 2008. Racism ended, so there was no racism to call out. So I'm still adjusting to the idea that racism doesn't exist anymore. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's what he was struggling with right there, like you said. Okay, now it's about okay, I ended it when I got elected. Y'all wouldn't elect a black man unless racism did exist. So the tightrope he's walking now, when he see things that looks racist, he got to try to justify it with other means. Well, maybe my professor did look suspicious. You know what I mean? So he's trying to make it seem like, okay, it can't be racism because racism, like you just said, racism doesn't exist because how could they elect me? So, you know, he just struggling, you know, because every time a white person gets smart with you, don't you be like, this racist bitch? I mean, don't you think that? Even though she might not be racist, but you might just think, like, why is she talking to me like that? Because I'm black. So she got to be racist, right?
If you believe that it exists, yes.
No, I'm saying that's just a natural. I'm saying you don't have if you have an encounter with a person and they happen to be another race, you would assume, because that's your first encounter, that they must be racist. But they might just be an asshole. You see what I mean? But if you have, like you said, if you got race, yeah, you can have the racism in your mind, but
and especially when they talk about, you know, when your grandparents was pickers, not planters, they was too busy being sold. That's got nothing to do with race. That's much more just about being an asshole.
So they switched up the education now? They switching up the words?
No. That was what the girl in Indiana said, which I think we all agree was not racist. But she brought up the fact that black people at one point were pickers and not planters, and they were not making money. They were being sold for money. And we accept that that's not racist.
Damn. Oh, Indiana, yeah. That is. Now that's crazy because, like you said, that's really suspicious because that's where the Ku Klux Klan is originated.
It is suspicious, but
it's I mean, but like you say, hey, you got to look into some of them conspiracies. Some of them be true. You never know. Racism might do exist. You just don't see it, or people don't admit it. Yep.
CK, you talking crazy now. I gotta go. All right, that was CK. He still want racism to exist in the world. I'm telling you, my mentors, people that I listen to, that I talk to, that I respect, they're telling me that, look, I just accept it as on faith. Twin.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Listen to you talk that crazy stuff.
What's crazy? What'd I say that's crazy?
You know damn well racism still exists. Stop it, man.
Look.
Stop it.
Twin.
Man, I encountered this shit a long time ago. Quit around with that.
Twin.
Go on with that little fugazi ass stuff you talking about, man.
Twin.
Ain't nobody. What, man?
I'm telling you, not what I feel, okay? Not what I feel, but what I've been told and convinced of. Again, I see stuff, and it sure look and sound and feel like racism to me. But I talk to people, I listen to people, and they are telling me in no uncertain terms, racism doesn't exist anymore, which means there has to be another explanation for all of this stuff.
Why come it don't exist anymore? It's probably it don't exist like it was back in the 60s.
Here's the question.
You can't break it. What is it, man?
Twin, here's the question that was asked when I said, because I was challenging this, and I said racism does still exist. And here's what the question that was posed to me. Okay, if racism exists, right, then Twin, when is the last time you experienced racism that stopped you from doing anything that you actually wanted to do?
When I was back in, what was it, 2000, let me see, 2001, when I went to Mississippi, I ain't been there in a while. When I went to Mississippi, it was me, my brother, me and my other two brothers and a white girl. We went to Captain D. He said, I don't know why the niggas brought that white girl in here. And then my brother, and I said, did I hear what he just said? And then my brother like, who the fuck you talking to, you Yankee? And then he said, y'all been fucking our bitches for 400 years. Now you mad because I got one of yours? And he fucked around and grabbed her pussy and kissed her in front of her. That motherfucker turned red as a strawberry. And you tell me racism don't exist?
Wait.
Come on, man.
Twin, how long ago was this?
That was back in 20-something years ago.
Didn't we just accept that racism didn't end until 2008? So tell me something in the past 10 years that affected you, some racism that you experienced that stopped you from doing anything that you wanted to do in the past 10 years.
I probably can't recall. I did so much. I can't recall, but I know what experience what came to my face or whatever when I experienced it. I don't know what happened now. Maybe it's low key now, but it still exists. I don't care what you say. And the reason why Obama got in there because he looked almost like this. And when they heard he was in there, some people committed suicide. You feel me?
I don't know. I think
There was one dude that hung himself when he found out he got elected in New York. He jumped from a building and killed himself. There was two people up in New York. One kid jumped from the building, other one hung himself. What is he talking about? It was during this era. Talking about racism still exists, just like the other day. 2 weeks ago, South Carolina girl or whatever went on that basketball. Here comes four dudes in a truck with a Confederate flag and stuff. Now you tell me racism don't exist.
Well, they're telling me that it doesn't exist.
Man,
so
they telling you bullshit.
There has to be another explanation, twin. There has to be. Just think hard.
I just broke it down.
What else could it be other than racism?
What the hell are you talking about? What you gonna call it? Every motherfucker ain't mental, man. Now I know you act mental sometimes, but a lot of people ain't mental. They just act and want to see.
I didn't say nothing about mental. Maybe it was classism.
What you said?
It was classism.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, man. You making people out here but thinking that you think it don't exist. Like me, I'm like, what are you talking about? You make me want to turn somewhere else because you kind of extra, man. All right, don't exist tonight. It still exists, man.
Twin, I understand if you had to turn somewhere else because you're not ready to accept that racism doesn't exist anymore.
I do face the fact that it exists. It's probably on the low key.
That it doesn't exist anymore.
It does exist, man. Whenever it go away. Do you still see flies and roaches and rats around here?
Are you trying to tell me that flies and roaches and rats are racist?
They probably is. You probably like, I don't like him. He probably got a broken leg or something like that. Yeah, they exist. I might not like that dog. That pit bull probably bigger than me or some stupid stuff. Yeah, it exists. Why? I'm gonna tell you one time. I'm like, why he barked at me? Why he barked at me and then barked at that white girl? You mean to tell me that don't exist? And it was down here, over there in close to Blue Egg.
Was this before 2008?
It happened 2 years ago, man.
Then it wasn't racism. That dog was not racist.
Shit, that damn dog. That dog sure barked at me, then bark at the white girl. So what is you talking about? It still exists, man. I don't know what. I don't know if you were smoking this weekend or what, but it ain't right. You lying to people coming on exist. You must be a fool. Yeah, go ahead and wipe your face and pray to God and stuff. Tell them so you can repent. Lying to these people, man, trying to convince us saying it don't exist anymore. You smoking, man. What baby girl at? Because I'm telling her to get you, man. You out your body for this.
I'm not.
Come on, E, man.
I'm not sure.
Don't do that, man.
I'm not sure that a dog barking is proof of racism.
Man, why she ain't bark at the damn white girl and shit? And I'm out there with dude head of them.
I would have to know all of the details surrounding.
Man, now you're a prosecutor, man, a radio prosecutor.
What were you doing? What were you doing? Were you talking like this, and the white person was just minding their own business, like doo-doo-doo-doo, and you was like, motherfucker, and so the dog was barking, like, because you were aggressive?
No, man, you know the white folk got their dogs, but nigga come up here fight 'em. That's how they is, man.
All right.
You sarcastic. Something wrong with you. You being extra, man. You trying to convince people saying it don't exist. You know it exists. Stop
No,
playing, man.
people have convinced me that it doesn't exist.
And what you say, I don't think it exists. You went right along with it.
No, for a long time. Look, I fought it for a long time, twin. I would see racism and I would be like, that's some racist shit. And I would see something else racist and I'd be like, see, that's racist. And then I would see some kind of underlying racist stuff and I would be pointing out to people like, that might not seem like it's racist, but let me explain to you why that's racist. And the more I did it, the more I listen to people, that ain't racist. You just see everything is racist. You think everything is racist. Everything ain't racist. This ain't racist. That ain't racist. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe just because it seems racist. Maybe just because somebody brings up that your black people were being sold instead of making money. Maybe that seems racist, that feels racist, that sounds racist. But who am I to say that that is racist?
Man, when I first went to Mississippi, and that dude, that redneck pimp, he said, where y'all from? And then we like Chicago. He said, why y'all let y'all boys in my school? And my mom was saying, I'm like, who the hell you calling a boy?
Was this before 2008?
Yeah.
Then it was probably racist.
And racist. Oh,
but
Christ.
After 2008, it's not racist.
2000, ain't no damn year gotta be no year of timing, man.
Barack Obama got elected.
Fuck Obama, man. He ain't shit. What are you talking about? You care about no Obama? I'm talking about racist.
That marked the end of racism. Now we are in a post-racial society in America.
When the last time you sold somebody a shirt, printed somebody a shirt?
Saturday.
Is that your last time printing shirts?
No.
All right, shut the hell up, then. If you don't know what you're talking about, man. We gonna keep on printing till that damn hand fall off. What? Come on, man, quit being extra.
What does that have to do with racism?
That it still go keep on going to the day we die. Till God call us home. Or whatever. Till this world comes to an end. It's still gonna be racist. What are you talking about, man?
You need to come on up to 2008 and more. You still living in the
2008.
past.
I'm in 2024.
You still living in the past with those old notions of what is and what ain't.
I'm speaking from experience, though. You speaking from bullshit.
But the experiences that you're speaking from is before the end of racism.
Ain't no year when racism stopped.
2008, Barack Obama got elected. We are in a post-racial society.
So, Mayor Johnson up there, when he got elected, racism stopped too?
What year?
Last year. Or whenever, how long he been in office.
It wasn't no racism there.
So when I tell you about the basketball girls the other day, they ain't racist. What they did.
What did they do?
When the Confederate dudes riding around in the pickup truck with the Confederate flags calling niggers and all that crazy stuff, that's not racist.
That would be probably classist.
What?
That would probably just be classism.
I don't know what the hell you. So if a redneck coming and say you black ass nigger and all that, I can't stand you niggas. That's not racist.
I'm thinking that would be classist or some other explanation for it.
What the fuck explanation you need for it, man? You goofy.
Something other than racism. Racism don't exist.
I'm about to go. You just extra, man. You just extra, man. You just extra. I can't even believe you. You tell that to a street nigga, then see what they say.
Look,
No, talk to somebody who's real, somebody who ain't got no sense. Somebody who's like, talk to, ask Pharaoh, tell him, call, you got Pharaoh, no, ask him, do it still exist? He would say.
Ask who?
Somebody who, what's his name, Pharaoh?
Pharaoh won't even let me come over his house and dust his all his degrees. And he promised that he would. So he might not be the most honest, forthright guy to ask that question to.
Well, ask your pastor, then.
Okay.
Or one of your choir members or something
And if
like
they
that. Ask
say,
one of them.
and if they say that racism exists, then they're wrong.
How is they wrong?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know Marquetta can tell us. She's one of the people who told me it don't exist no more.
Marquetta asleep. She don't know yet. She's still asleep right now. She ain't woke.
She woke. Twin, I gotta run.
Yeah, I'm about to run right back in Kroger's and stuff. Kroger's with the S. You ain't got no break. Tommy. Holla at you, man. Be safe, man.
All right, Twin. Sorry, Ron D. I saw you call in. You can call back in. Look, I'm just telling y'all, Ron.
You ain't think I was gonna let you off that easy, did you?
What you mean, let me off?
What's good?
How you doing?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Now, would you classify the murder of intentional murder of women and children good or evil?
I would say it's bad. I don't necessarily know if it's evil. I mean, it feels evil, but I would say it's bad. I don't, using the term evil, some stuff feel evil, some stuff just feel bad. I'm not sure.
Some people will call it evil, and I respect that. I you know what, I respect that opinion because you know that's like racism. You know, it's the unintentional murder of women and children.
Now hold on, I see Marquetta calling. Marquetta, I'm gonna let Ron finish and then call back after Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
Hey, well, the definition of what you're looking for is this dark. It's dark, no pun intended. You know, it's not good and evil in the world, and it's just light and dark, and it's just it. And racism, when it reared its ugly head, is this dark. Period.
But it's
so
gone
you can just
now.
replace. You can just replace racism with dark. But I want to tell you what I was talking to you last about when I was so passionate was, you know, what Iran did to Israel was just a show.
Yes.
Just a show.
That's what they said.
I mean, you know, they was going. You know, they knew they couldn't do nothing without. Even they have hypersonic missiles, and if they wanted to really hit something, they would have done that. But it was just show. But the thing about it is, you know, the Biden administration, and and now I'm not telling nobody who to vote for. It's not about the election or nothing.
I think it probably is.
No. The Trump administration got they took $500 billion from Iran, and they sanctioned them to where they couldn't sell oil anymore during his administration. Now, when Biden got elected, he's rolled back them sanctions and gave that money back. Now, we have to understand, you know, why would they give that money back? You know, and as much as they knew that they were trying to build a nuclear warhead. So why would they give the money back in order to, you know, have them give them an opportunity to do that? Now, I'm talking about not an election. I'm talking about economics and basically.
Hold on, Ron, you're clearly talking about an election, trying to sway people to not vote for the Biden,
I'm not.
Biden
I'm just,
and the Biden administration
I'm not,
because you disagree
if
with something that they did on the world stage.
That's not. That is not.
Yes, it is.
Not the point.
Look, you can say what you want to say, but without the pretense of I'm not talking about the election and all that kind of stuff. We know you're clearly talking
because
about
I gotta say that because
we know that you're clearly talking about this because it affects the way that you view the election.
You done? You cool? You gonna let me finish?
As long as you don't continue with that silly pretense that this has nothing to do with the election and that that's not what you're talking about. So if you don't continue with that pretense, then yes, you can finish.
Well, I guess I can't finish.
Okay.
Because I mean, it wasn't about an election. I was talking about a money move.
But why are you? Hold on. But why are you talking about the money move?
Okay. You have to understand why they gave them that money back.
Well, hold on. But why are you talking about it?
Because when I was telling you about the last conversation, or when I had that last conversation with you, I was telling you to meditate, pray, and prepare because there is something coming. And I've been watching basically how these people been moving. Now, the stock market.
Hold on, but again, Ron, hold on. I'm gonna let you say everything you want to say, but why are you discussing it now?
Because I'm trying to make sure that we are prepared. Black folk are prepared. Basically, everybody prepared. But especially black folk, because we are the ones that always, come back and say, okay, we're going to, how we going to do this now? This is a serious situation, and nobody's talking about it because everybody is distracted.
Ron, just so I'm clear, you're telling us about what the Biden administration did with money with Iran so that we can be prepared if something, just tell us to be prepared. You don't have to tell us about the money.
Okay.
Why are you talking about what the Biden administration did with the money?
Bye. Because you already getting me frustrated and my voice is already cracking. And my thoughts is getting confused. So no, I ain't gonna do that with you. I listen. See ya.
All right. Cause we know that you talking about the election. If you I just want y'all to be prepared, then just tell us what to be prepared for and how to be prepared. Now the Biden. See, Trump did this, and then the Biden administration came behind him, and they did this. I'm not talking about the election. I'm only saying it so that black people will be prepared when whatever happens here. You don't have to give me the backstory if you just want me to be prepared. Come on. All I'm saying is the false pretense of you're not trying to sway people's thoughts in terms of the election. Just say, because I believe that Biden is not the best president. And then we'd be like, all right, well, what did he do? And then you can tell us all of that. But don't pretend like, I'm just out of the goodness of my heart, I'm explaining this so that we'll be prepared for what's to come. That's not necessarily true. You want to shape our thoughts and opinions on the subject. And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't try to pretend like that's not what you're doing. Marquetta.
You keep referencing Quetapedia. When did I say racism didn't exist? I said everything is not racist. Give me the page, the date where I said racism no longer existed.
Everything I say is racist. You say is not racist. Everything that we see
Tell
as
me,
racist.
tell me
you say
how
it's
do
not.
you tell me how you define racism. Hello?
Things affected, things that are primarily based on race that are negatively aimed, in my mind anyway, negatively aimed at black people, and it happens because of their race and people's hatred for black people, or people's misunderstanding of black people, or people's misperceptions of black people.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
You there? What are the Bloods, the Crips, the Gangster Disciples, the folk? These are gangs primarily in black people communities that primarily target black people. What are they? How would you describe them?
I would describe them as gangs.
And if they were white, would you be describing them as racist gangs like the Skinheads or the Ku Klux Klan or people like that?
If you can convince me that, say, the Bloods and the Crips are going after black people simply for the fact that they're black.
That they are black.
That's the only reason. Not because they're in a rival gang. Because, Marquetta, so let me ask you this. Do the Bloods kill other Bloods who are black?
They kill black people in black communities.
But they're not doing it just because they're black.
Let me say this.
Because they would be killing each other. They would be like, hey, man, let's go ride on this dude. And he would turn and look like, oh, you black. Gotcha. He not doing it just because they're black.
But they are not focusing outside of black communities.
But they're not doing it.
If a black child,
they're not doing
wait a minute. If a black child gets murdered, a 7-year-old gets targeted because their parents are black and they happen to be in that neighborhood where the gangs are concentrated, what do you call that?
I'm not sure.
Let's get off of that, because to me, racism is a system. I'm gonna break my opinion down, then you can reference Quetipedia correctly. Racism is a system of power. Racism is not words. A white woman saying that she don't appreciate Beyonce's music, and whatever she think history is, that's not racism. We say stuff about white people all day long. We call them names and a whole bunch of other things we attribute to them, but we don't have any power.
Can you give me an example of racism?
Racism is housing policies, redlining, where you had the Obama administration come in, like I keep saying, and under the delusion of we're going to bail out big banks and leave mostly black homeowners in the bag of losing their home loans. And now today you see mostly black people homeless. That's racism. That's structural racism.
So just so just so I'm clear, because I'd just like to be clear. You're saying Obama was racist.
Yeah.
Against
he said himself that he was a mutt against black people. He said himself, Kamala Harris is racist against black people. She came out and said, I'm not doing specifically for black people, but she did something specifically for Southeast Asians. She did something specifically for Ukrainians. She did something specifically for Venezuelans. But when she came in to California, she was heralded as the first East Asian American or American Indian. And then when they ran her on a national platform, she became
black people.
If you study Kamala Harris,
I haven't studied her.
I'm about to get into it. If you let me finish. If you look her up prior to her being a vice president, she targeted black people, black neighborhoods, black schools. She held black men in jail past their sentences. That is not something that she did willy-nilly. She actually she came on the news and said, we are targeting parents in this school district, which was mostly black, and we're going to arrest the parents if their children are truant.
Wouldn't that be classist?
Even when if it wasn't black, I mean, you're the one making the case for racism. I'm telling you, your presidents, whether Trump or Biden,
case against racism.
Okay, and what do you call Tyree Nichols? If Tyree Nichols had been strung up like that by 5 white cops, we would be screaming, yelling, rioting. We quiet.
Okay, wait. So this
5
is what
black
I'm getting.
police officers.
This is what I'm getting.
I'm saying, so that's not racism.
Wait, so you believe only black people are racist?
No, I don't believe that. And belief, again, is something that you can't prove. What I'm saying to you is there is not a Ku Klux Klan out here running around hunting down black people to hang them from trees.
You say it's black people who doing it.
It is black people. There you go.
So
now
you
you're talking.
believe that black people are racist
towards black people,
and that's it.
If you're saying race, however you're defining racism, because see, I have to call a white police officer to get the violence of other black people off of me. If a black girl is dead or a black boy is dead, we have to call the white police officers and trust in their integrity that they're going to investigate that case. We're not certain when it's a good example right here. It's a black young lady, 19 years old, who was just murdered by a white man.
Yes.
He dismembered her on the first date. Have you seen that story?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Everybody is screaming racism.
But that's not racism because he was white.
That's right, because why is black women being killed every 5 hours by black men? Every 5th hour in the day, a black American woman is murdered by her domestic partner, her baby daddy. Nobody says anything about that. When we talk about black, like I told you, there is no white, when you talk about country music is not encouraging white people to murder each other or even murder niggers, quote unquote. But when it comes to black music,
that's not necessarily true.
When it comes to black music, when you got black music, every drill artist, NBA Youngboy, Bobby Shmurda, 50 Cent, Ice Cube, 50 decades, 5 decades, 50 years of black males producing music that speaks particularly to black people. Well, and we'll get mad and say Eminem don't belong, but Ice Cube was the one who made it popular to say a bitch is a bitch. But go ahead.
Now, I just want to, because you've
corrected. Live Crew, that's black music.
You've corrected me, and I accept the correction. Black people are racist against black people, not white people. Got it. And I accept that. I've internalized it. It is what it is.
You put that in. You're internalizing the wrong thing. That's not what I said. I said black people are racist, more racist than white people are to black people today. Go ahead.
So I want to correct you on one thing. You said country music does not encourage them to kill people, and in particular black people. That's not true. You're not listening to that violent country music that's out there that is encouraging that. And just on a small level, remember that song "Try That in a Small Town"? You know what he was encouraging?
He said he did not say what.
Hold on, just because he didn't say that doesn't mean that wasn't what he was encouraging.
And again, that goes to do he have the power?
He's white.
The power dynamic, Emanuel.
So it can't
after
be
he
racist.
said what he said, does he have the power to influence his genre to do anything in a small town against those people?
Yes.
Show me the data where those people retaliated, because there is none that shows you where that song.
All I can tell you is common sense tells you that a very influential artist telling his audience that it's okay to harm black people if they come into their city and do stuff is influential. I don't have to have data to tell you that, but that's me thinking like me. If I'm thinking like you, then you're right, because he's white. And as a white man, he can't be racist. I got it.
I didn't say that. You're saying that.
You're not saying those words, but that's the message that you're putting out there.
People have a system of power.
I'm not doing that. You're breaking up.
They can use their prejudice against.
It's not me, y'all.
It's black people.
You're breaking up, Marco.
I'm telling you, black people need to come to grips with the fact that I'm here. Can you hear me? I can hear you fine.
Yeah, you keep.
Hello?
I'm just letting you know you're breaking up. I don't want nobody to think it's me doing it.
Okay, so let me talk, and then I'll hang up, and then you can say what you say, okay?
Let's do that.
Harm is what I'm speaking of. Harm and the harm and the potential for genocide. Harm and the power to annihilate a specific group of people. Harm and not having safety in your own country, in your own home, etc. Harm created by stereotypes of prejudice. I am not harmed by white people saying Beyonce does not belong in country music. I listen to country music made by black people who are in black country spaces. Jeter Jones, King George, Tucker, Nelly Travis Tiger, Uncle Daddy, Marvin Cease. These people are still making music. They still have music that we consider country music that we listen to. Beyonce, like Eminem, is trying to cross over into the white country sector. There is nothing that I find offensive about white people saying she don't belong over here, because I feel like Machine Gun Kelly, Kid Rock, Eminem, Justin Timberlake don't belong over here. And because of that, I don't do their music. When it comes to power relationships, we depend on the state. We depend on the federal government. And what I'm telling you is there are some cases that are race related, but not as many as black on black people harming black people, particularly. And here's another thing: if you want to use that barometer, what do you call it when white children are the minorities in their school and they get beat up on because they're white?
Racism.
What is that?
Racism.
Okay, so you can see racism for white people, but when black people harm white people, but you can't see racism when black people harm other black people?
No, I got it. That's what I'm saying. I understand. If it's a school, just using your example, I'm going to just use your example just to make sure I got it right. If there's a school where the white people are the minority and black people beat up the white person because of their race, that's racism. If it's a school where black people are the minority and white people beat up that black person because of their race, it's not racism.
That's still racism. I'm asking you, what do you call it when black people are doing the most harm to black people? What do you call it? That's not racism.
I call it people doing harm to people. Because here's why. Here's why. If there is a school, we sticking with this example, where the majority is black, the minority is white, and a white girl get beat up just because somebody wanted to steal her stuff, was that racism?
You said you gave a pretext. You said somebody wanted to steal her stuff,
right? Not
because she was white.
Exactly.
So the issue was somebody wanted to steal her stuff, not because she was white. What I've seen and what I've experienced.
Wait. I gave that pretext for a reason, because the examples that you're giving that you think proves that black people are racist is they're not doing it. They're not doing those things because they're black. Like, the gang member ain't killing the rival gang member because he's black. He's killing him for some other reason. So if that pretext matters in the white girl at the school example, then shouldn't that pretext matter in the black on black crime, as y'all like to call it, example?
I don't call it black on black crime. I said black on black violence. Again, we're talking about a group that is harmed.
Shouldn't it matter why?
And if you are if you're telling me you black, you ugly, you black, you ugly. If I have a genre of music that's out there promoting my murder, my heart, me being pissed.
I'm stuck on racism.
Because the music is influential and the music is the arm.
But you just finished telling me when it was the white dude that music is not influential. When he's encouraging
that he don't have
people,
the same impact. That's not what I said.
Influential, so it can't be racist. But when it's black music,
Lil Durk
then
is
it's
not as possible as George Carlton or whoever them white people is in country music.
It was the #1 song.
It's not as influential.
It
when
was
you talk
the
about
number one song.
young boy,
So white music is not
okay,
influential, but black music is.
you can directly parallel. You can look this study up. Ice Cube even said this himself.
Oh,
you
Ice
can
Cube
look
said
up
it. It's got to be factual.
Ice Cube, so he's a part of that genre, and he's coming clean and telling you that yes, record executives have allowed black people, black males in particular, to push a certain narrative in their music that increases prison stats, that increases prison population, that increases antisocial behaviors. And you can see the data over the last 50 years and the increase
I'm not
in
denying
the prison incarceration rate. Because what? Because what?
I'm not
If it was
denying
white, if it was, listen, if the Gangster Disciples, if the Bloods and Crips, if the Pyrus, if the Folk Nation,
are they doing it because the other person is black?
We would say that is racism. We are saying because these is gangs.
Are they doing it because the other person is black?
Yes.
I'm going on
yes,
your
you don't
example.
See them doing it to you don't see them going to Latin Kings. They're not killing the Latin Kings.
I'm going on your example.
They not out here gang banging with the white devil angels on motorcycles. They banging with black people because they black. And you always say it's proximity.
Are you telling me that, hold on, just so I'm clear, you're saying that black gangs don't beef with Latino gangs?
Not till they get in prison. You is not seeing them banging with no Latino gangs. Well, they bang with each other.
That's not true. But then secondly,
show me some proof.
You just made that up. But then secondly, on top of that,
I'm gonna pull it up.
But then on top of that, let's go with, again, you gave a clear example that I thought was a great example. And you want to keep veering away from that example because it doesn't suit your purposes. Now, if your argument was, if you got a small minority of white people and they do something to them based on their race, that's racism. But if they do something to them based on some other factor that's not race, is that still racism?
What do you call all of these murders?
I'm just asking the question.
If all these big fights, when black people fight in black people the way they call, what do you call that?
Get beat up not because of her race, but because of something else. Is it racism?
What are they getting beat up for?
They want to steal her wallet. So they punch her, beat her up, and steal her wallet. Was that racism?
That's the pretext of them punching her to steal her wallet. Right. And we're not talking about white girls. I said minority students in black schools.
Okay,
and
a minority student.
If you're a minority,
they get beat up and they steal the wallet.
If you a minority black student in a white school and the same thing happens to you, we would call that racism.
I'm not saying what we would call it. I'm asking you, is it racism? Not
if you got a pretext of I'm trying to rob you.
Okay, so if a gang member...
I'm going to keep hitting the point. I'm going to keep hitting the point that racism is a power structure.
If trying to take his cornerback...
The gang is a power structure.
If the gang is trying to take their cornerback, how is that racism? Because there's a pretext.
How is that your corner? How is that your corner? You don't own nothing. You in the gang. But if you in the gang, you most likely unemployed.
But you understand
most
the concept
likely violent.
This is our territory. That's y'all territory. You understand what the pretext is. Is that racism?
So the people within that community, you basically as a gang, you redlining your own people into a community where they have to suffer with your gang violence. That's I don't know what you call it. If you can call it black self-hate, you can call it black genocide, you can call it black murder. My point is the white man is not running you down today and kicking you out of his stores. The white man is not telling you can't drink at this water fountain. I'm going to hang you from this tree if you date my daughter.
Again, it's just like what I said earlier, which you took exception to. Black people are racist. White people are not.
Black people are racist towards black people.
And white people are not.
I'm telling you, white people have a system of power where they can institutionalize racism without having to touch you.
So white people
that's
are
racism.
Not. So white people are not
a
racist.
prejudiced person calling you black. That's not racist.
So white people are
a black
not
person.
Racist.
I didn't say that. You putting words in my mouth. If you let me finish what I'm saying,
I'm trying to get
and maybe we can solve some of it.
Because
maybe we can solve
here's
why.
the problem that I'm having.
Maybe we can solve why is black women being killed every 5 hours by black men.
That's your fallback, but that's not what we're talking about today. Because you called in to talk about what isn't racism. And here's what I would say, because I'll answer your question.
If Tyree Nichols had been killed by 5 white men, y'all would say that was racism. What is it when it's black people?
It's not necessarily racism when it happens and it's white people. It's racism if it's racism. The argument that you're trying to make to defend racism is that black people are more racist than white people.
I said black, and I do agree. I think that we are more hateful towards black people. We say you ugly black bee.
And so you
my daughters go
racism,
through that all the time.
So
I'm not excusing it. I'm saying black people are guilty of it.
Because you see
I never heard.
Black people
I have
never
been called a black bee or attacked by white men the way that black men attack me. I've never had a white male say, "Hey, sexy, how you doing? What's up with you? Fuck you then, black bitch." If words are so important, I don't get that from white men. I get that from black men.
And you perceive that as racism.
I don't. What do you call it?
I call it
what do you call it if
disrespect.
we can't call it racism? What do you call it?
Okay. So wait a minute. So you think
but if it's a white man that did it, then it's racism.
So you think they hollered at you because you was black, but then they cussed you out because you was black?
And said you black and give you an epithet.
But that's clearly not racist.
That's when you say racism.
That's just ignorance. That's just ignorance. But that's not.
I'm going to go back
so now you're saying
to the stats of your cities and communities. Every night that you wake up, it's a black man who killed the black man. It's not a white man killing black men every day. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you believe that disrespect is racism?
Belief is something you can't prove. I'm speaking about data. I'm speaking about
what
facts.
Data do you have to prove that somebody saying you black bitch is racist? What
prejudice.
Data do you have to prove that?
That's if you have an action behind that black epithet.
But you
did. You do harm to me after that. That's racism.
You said you don't believe it. Belief is nothing. What data
you're putting words in my mouth.
I'm going to end with this. Say it's data. You can only say what you data.
Racism
so give me the data.
is a power structure. Racism is a power structure. White people control the power in this country. That's what we know to be racism. White people's racism is no longer them chasing you down the street and hanging you from a tree or stopping you from drinking in water fountains. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to group violence, when it comes to us using harmful words to describe other black people while we harm them, that is not white people doing that. That is black Americans harming ourselves. When you look at the lady who was
but that's
in
not
that
what we're talking about. We're talking about
waiting
racism.
on her food.
But we're talking about racism.
How do you not talk about racism if you're talking about black people?
But
you want white people
to talking about racism.
So bad.
Didn't we just prove, Marquetta,
in a gang?
Didn't we just prove that the white girl getting beat up in the black school with some other pretext is not racism? Didn't we just prove that?
That's what you said.
You said it.
You said the pretext.
Well, there's some other pretext, so thus it's not racist.
You added that pretext.
You're right. I added that pretext, but you agreed that with that pretext, it's not racism.
Listen, Emanuel, you're arguing in circles, and I'm going to repeat to you
that with
racism is a power
racism.
Structure. Racism is a power structure. People in their words do not hurt you. You calling me a black. That white girl talking about Beyonce don't belong in country does not make her. She don't have no power over us.
I don't think you can have
Young
it both
boy
ways.
NBA got power.
You can't
Young
say.
boy NBA got power.
Well, you can.
Lil Durk got power.
But it's not
King
fair
Von
for you to
power.
say that. Hey, words don't make racism. That lady calling you saying that she can't be country is not racism. But
she
that
don't
dude,
have no power.
But that dude that
she
said,
don't have no power.
But that dude that said, "Fuck you, black bitch," he racist.
You better run.
How can you have it both
because
ways?
The statistics is a black girl can get kidnapped out the street.
But you didn't get kidnapped.
You
can't
will be
say
mostly,
it's racist based on potential.
Wait, let me finish. And you ain't let me finish.
So
but the point that I'm getting at,
because you're not answering no questions. You're trying to every question I ask,
you want to make white people more powerful over us than what they are.
No,
you ain't been cussed out by white men in years.
Exist.
But you said it sarcastically. I'm saying
perceive it as
racism is not
sarcastically.
everything. You're saying racism don't exist to be sarcastic to say that everything is racist, and I'm telling you it's not. Black people's biggest obstacle is black people. Our unity is our problem.
We're not talking about what our biggest obstacle is. We're talking about racism. We're not talking about a big obstacle. We're talking about racism.
Tell me your last experience of racism where you've experienced your classic racism, where you've experienced a white person come to do harm to you because of your skin color or stop you from getting something due to your skin color.
Well, I think your question supposes that because it hasn't happened to me, it doesn't exist. And that's not true.
And because we have a government that sets up equal employment opportunities, because we have a government that is protecting us somewhat and allowing us by federal law to operate like normal citizens in this country and don't allow us to be targeted because of our race, is why I'm saying racism is a power structure that is controlled.
So if
and
racism,
what we don't control,
let me go along
what we
with
don't control is a bunch of gangs in our community killing and harming each other and calling each other the N-word.
Because I want to end this call where we both agree. Racism is a power structure. It's about control, right? So how was that dude who called you a black bitch racist then?
It's the same thing as you said the white lady said we was picking cotton and being sold. He a man. The fear, the intimidation, the same way you say about the white man. Oh, the white man this. Oh, the white man that.
You were afraid and intimidated.
About a black man.
You're saying
I was afraid and intimidated
because you're afraid and intimidated. That makes it racist.
That's a power. That's a power because you stroking my fear. You're making me afraid. You're making me intimidated. And you use the word black. That's the only context I guess that you need. You use the word black.
Based on that,
I gotta keep asking you. What is Tyree Nichols? What do you mean? What do we call What is that? Is that not racism when you got 5 cops targeting a black man who is running from the police?
Why did they
because
target him?
Because he is a black man.
Why did they target him? Why did they target him?
Do we know? Do we know?
No, we don't. So thus,
do you know?
Based on my definition, you can't call it racism if we don't know that they did it because of his race. But you're saying
that he was in Memphis,
that because
and most of the
he's
people
black
in Memphis
and
is
because
black.
they're black, it's automatically racist.
That's racism. And because of the way and the nature in which he was beaten, I believe that was racism. If it was white men who did it, we would be saying racism.
You keep using the word believe, but every time I use the word believe, you say it don't matter what you believe. It's only based on data.
You can only what you prove. What's on data?
So
what you see on the video was a black man being strung up,
Tyree Nichols was racism. Show me the data.
Called the N-word. If you look the video up and go watch it, the data is right there. They were calling him N-word epithet.
That's not the data. That don't prove that they did it because of his race, and you know it don't.
They was there and calling him
You're being intellectually
N-word.
disingenuous now.
Man, pull that video up and listen to them brothers as they beat that man to death. They was calling him the N-word, and they was using the power of their badge, the power of their police stick. If you got the power of a police stick or a power of a gun, yes, you should listen to Neely Fuller. You should listen to Neely Fuller on this. Neely Fuller said, black people don't want to admit we're most dangerous to ourselves. White people
we're not talking
today.
About who's more dangerous.
White
we're talking
people
about what is racism.
Today.
You keep
black
trying
people
to
are
change
more
it
racist
to one thing or
towards
another,
each
but
other
that's not
than
what we're
any
discussing.
other group.
We're discussing what is racist. That's what we're discussing.
What is racism if that's not racism? If you said particularly harming black people.
Because of their race.
The most harm.
Because of their race.
That comes to black people because of our race is coming from other black people. We don't target nobody else. We target ourselves.
At 1 minute, you say, well, the pretext changes it. And then the next minute, the pretext don't matter.
I said... Listen, bro, it's a case right now of a little white boy. He was mildly retarded, sitting on his school bus, not harming anybody. It's a big black lady sitting next to him. Right. She's punching him. She mugging him. She abusing him. Uh-huh. And he drops off to his mother without teeth. He got bruises all over his body. if the roles were reversed,
Forget
we would
if,
say
that's hypothetical.
racism.
Are you saying that she did
But
it
because
he
they're
was
not,
white?
she did it because he was white.
Then that's
I believe
racism.
she did it because she was white. That's racist. There you go. There you go. She targeted him because he was white. That's all I'm saying. All that she stole something or he was looking to steal something, that was racism. You agree.
Because of his race.
That's because of his race. She targeted him.
The gangs ain't doing it because of his race.
Man, gangs shoot up everybody black. You ain't never seen them go in the Chinese community and shoot nothing up.
So you
ain't never seen them go in the white community and shoot nothing up.
You genuinely believe that gangs are out here battling other gangs simply because they're black?
There you go.
That don't make sense.
What's the other reason? What's the other reason they battling?
Money, territory, drugs,
like what?
the ability to control the illegal, the ability to control the illegal flow of guns and money and drugs in the community.
So you think every night that you wake up and you hear that a black man that killed another black man is because he controlled guns and money in a community?
Again, you're trying to switch it because that's not a gang. Now, if that's gang violence,
let's take the gang out. Let's take the gang out and let's just talk about individual violence. Every individual violence.
Where are the white out here killing people?
Where are the racists?
Just because
they're
black.
Where are the racists?
There's a reason. I'm killing you because you slept with my girl. I'm killing you because you owe me some money. I'm killing you because you called me a bad name.
Okay, where are the racist white men chasing down black people because they black and killing them? Where are those gangs at? Where are those racists?
They're in Georgia and they chased down Ahmaud Arbery and they killed him because he was black.
And they got locked up.
We're not talking about what happened. You're saying that it's not happening.
And they were not a gang.
I'm telling you that it
you
is
said
happening.
They was a gang. It was three
I'm
people
telling
that's
you
not
that
a gang.
it is happening. It don't matter what
Three
they got.
Your
argument is that basically that don't happen no more.
From the orders from Larry Hoover, the orders for the El Rukins, the orders for all these other gangs come to harm black people and black communities.
You argue that it doesn't happen anymore, and I gave you an example of it happening.
One example? Give me another example. Show me another example, because I can name all day long every city and state that we live in.
One is enough to disprove a point. You said it don't happen.
There is no gangs running around hunting down black people. Cut it out. You got one case of Ahmaud Arbery,
but it does happen.
It does not happen as much as it happened with black people, killing black people, murdering each other on the regular. And like I said, every 5 hours.
Hunting black people down simply because they black.
I mean, what is the other out? What is the other?
I just told you there's a lot of other reasons why black people kill other black people.
Very
rarely,
hours,
I would argue it's because the person is black.
Listen, this is a serious problem with black males. You want to blame the white man for past racism.
We're not
that
talking
they have been
about
trying to
blaming nobody for past racism.
And instead of looking past that and creating better, safer, stronger communities and healing your own internal racism, instead you deny it and want to keep deflecting to the Ku Klux Klan and these gangs of white men that's hunting black boys down. I'm telling you, black men are the biggest danger to them own selves and their women and children.
I would agree.
And you can see it by the news stories every night. It has, I don't know what it is. What do you call it?
Not racism.
What do you call it?
Not racism.
What do you call it? Okay, give me another word. Misogyny.
Sure.
What do you call it?
Genocide. That exists. Misogyny exists.
Okay, well, let's put it in some terms that I'm familiar with so that I don't call it racism, because I think it's racist of you as a black person to be in my neighborhood and I can't be safe as a black person, that I'm targeted because I'm racist. Poor and black.
I think that's bad behavior.
What do you call that?
Criminal behavior.
Oh my God. So that's just criminal. So black people are just criminal minded. Is that what you're saying? There is no influencer that influences criminal behavior.
A lot of things influence criminal behavior. Money.
I'll go back to what I said. Self-hatred is racism. You hate yourself, you hate your people, you're killing your people. That's racism. That's a form of racism. You're acting as the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan ain't got to do nothing as long as you got Bloods, Pyrus, as long as you got black men who who can't take criticism, who want to lash out at women, who want to hurt and destroy the people in their community because they black and they close to them. You may not call it racism, but that's what I'm going to call it. It's racism based off of self-hatred. We are a colorist people. It used to be
But you
a
don't
brown
consider
paper
what
bag
happened
test.
to Ahmaud Arbery as racist. That's sad to me.
No, that was racist. That was racist.
Oh, finally you
racist,
admit that white people can be racist.
No,
all right. So now
but they're not running around in mass. They're not running around in mass like the gangster disciples. Tell me, I'm going to end with this. Tell me, what would you describe the man in Chicago who took it upon himself to slam his fist into that woman's face and her son had to come and shoot him? What was his problem?
Ignorant.
Was he not
disrespectful.
Racist? He called her a black bee.
That don't
he called her a
mean
black
it.
bee.
So anytime somebody calls somebody
the
black,
words don't mean nothing.
that don't
There you
even
go.
make sense. That doesn't even make sense.
He's called her a
better
black
than
bee,
that.
and behind them words, he swung and punched her in her face so many times that her son had to come in and shoot him because he was so dead set on harming that black woman. He would have never did that to a white woman. He would have never did that to a white woman. He would have never did that to an Asian woman. He would have never did that to a Latino woman. He would have never in his life thought about raising his hand in that matter to anybody besides a black woman, because black males and black women, we have the most racism towards other black people.
He was hitting her just because she was black. That's the only reason.
He called
exactly. You know he wasn't. I know he wasn't. We all know he wasn't. Stop it. It was a lot of other black people in there. He was disrespectful. He was out of line. But that's not racism. That's criminal behavior. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I got to get out of here. I'm like an hour behind. Blade.
Hey, buddy.
Sir?
Hey. Yeah, buddy. How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right, sir.
Hey, that was a good conversation. You're not going to admit, but you prove our point. She do not like black men. She rather raise the white man over the black man. I know you're not going to agree with me, but I agree with you, and I agree with myself. She just proved her point. You kept her on the ropes, and she just kept on keeping on. It's the psychologically, she hates the black man. And Neely Fuller is not about 90-something years old. He wrote that book like 50, 60 years ago, and check this out. He's not black. It's a crying shame because we see light-skinned people, we think they're black. And Neely Fuller went to Howard University. So when we quote people and think they're black and they're really not, we got people in our community that talk for black people and not black. But if I never saw Marquetta, I would have think or thought that she was a white woman because she sounds just like Beck with blonde hair, the way she talk about the black man. But she says she's black. It's disappointing, man. But I'm glad that you kept her on the ropes, that she proved her point. She didn't really have a point. But she's harder on the black man than the white man. It's a sad day today, man. Hey, have a good one.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't agree with like her premise and all of that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. I don't think she's coming from a position of hating black men. Look, I understand the idea that you can be so frustrated at the situations that we see happening in our community that you can say, I don't care about all of the racism that exists out there because that's not what's holding some of us back. It's what's happening inside our community that's holding us back. I understand that. I do. I understand that. To take it to that next level to say, well, black people are racist and white people are not. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. And yes, the reason for a thing matters. Twin?
Can you hear me, man?
I can hear you. I only got a few minutes for you because I got to get out of here.
I'm sorry, man, but I had to jump on this convo. Marquetta, I don't know what Lincoln gave you from earlier, that powder, but you need to put it down, girl. You know damn well, you know damn well gangs in Chicago started, and you know damn well we went against the Latin King. Like, what you talking about? Latin Kings wasn't doing this and all that. We wasn't shooting each other just because we was shooting a little bit over turf and everything. Which one turf and everything? Because we already established what streets and how far to go and everything. We were shooting over things because of money and envy and jealousy and everything else. And Al Capone was doing the same thing. He was shooting his white people up. When they had that money, check that bag in, he was doing the same thing when they get against. So, gang, we weren't just out there killing each other and everything. If you shoot at me, yeah. What they shoot at you for? Man, on some gangbang and stuff. We was out there gangbang. So just because we weren't just killing our black folks just to be killed, it's just like me. If I come smack the shit out you, so you go want to kill me. You go shoot at me. Just like that dude got disrespectful and calling that girl a B at that restaurant in Chicago, that store. He was out of his body for doing that. He was on dummy mode. And what she do, she sent her little son out there and go get the banger and killed him right there. Was he in the wrong? No, he wasn't in the wrong. That's when I was talking about last week. Emanuel, when you saying that B word and everything very disrespectful. That's when you be on defensive mode and everything. She sent her son out, but besides her that gang and all that, when we was out there, we was doing it and stuff because of the different gangs we were shooting at. The Latin Kings, they racist gangs, straight Puerto Ricans and everything. They weren't playing no game. I couldn't go on Humboldt Park like they can come in my neighborhood. And that because if I go on Humboldt Park, oh, he a gangster to say. They gonna kill me, man, if I go on Humboldt Park. And it's still like that today. Like a certain gang, and dealing with that NBA young boy and all that, that white man already said, hey, they can go with their drill music, but it's a stop to he can stop. They can stop it if they want to, but that man said, how my family go eat? That's why she don't understand life right now. I don't know what she was talking about. That man, because them white folks say, hey, they gotta eat. That's why NBA young boy and all them be going at it and stuff.
But
it's crazy. She don't know, huh?
I appreciate your call.
All right, man. I'll holler at you tomorrow, man. We'll finish this convo.
All right.
Be safe.
You too. Be safe. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. So I will change what I'm saying. Racism does exist. Racism does exist. White people are no longer racist. Black people are. So if it's white on black, it's not racism. If it's black on black, it's racism. If it's black on white, racism. White people can no longer be racist. See, I learned. Racism against black people ended in 2008. See, I listen. I ask questions so that I understand the premise, and then I learn. See? I'm pretty good at that. Yeah, I got to get ready to get out of here. I still love Marquetta. I don't care what nobody say. I think I understand her frustration. I don't necessarily know that I agree with how she's categorizing stuff, but I get it. But she changed my perspective. Racism still exists. The only people who can be racist is black people in America, though. Got it. Y'all, I didn't really want to go that heavy into that. But y'all enjoy yourselves. Get out there. There is still some sun. I'm going to get out there. And, 6 o'clock. Do I feel like cutting the grass? We'll see what happens. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. As always, if you are out and about, hold on. She said, I don't know if this was directed towards me. Bet you don't want to live in a black man neighborhood versus a white man neighborhood. I live in a black neighborhood. And I have no problems. I have no problems. Every once in a while, the neighbors might fight. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I got no problem. My daughter actually lives in a white neighborhood, and her white neighbors fight like every night. She like, Daddy, I think I'm moving. Because my neighbors fight every night, and they're white. So, but it's not racism. It's not racism. If anybody's racist in that neighborhood, it's my daughter, because she black. All right, y'all. If you out and about, as always, be the reason that somebody smiles. Till next time. Peace.